that meant that we were having to cut the tiles a lot. Hey guys, how you doing? Back with another video. This one's a bit different, not the normal hiking and what have you vlogs. This is about the bathroom. We've just redone the bathroom, so let me just explain what it's like, what it was like, what we've done, and as the title of the video says, what we do differently. So for the short answer, if you just want to skip to the point, smaller tiles and bigger slope on the floor. That's the short version. This is the long version. So this is the bathroom as it is now. Before, we had a bath going along under the window. We had the shower on the left side. We had a counter here with a sink and the tap. Toilet was a little bit further that way. That's basically what we've changed. What we did was we completely retiled the floor, all the walls, and we repainted the ceiling. Also, got the radiator here. This is the same as it was before, but it was white. We've repainted it grey, and the same with the window frame. And we've put a new shower setup here into the wall. So the first thing I do differently is the tiles. This is a relatively small bathroom. It is 3 meters by 2 meters, and we went with a 120 by 60 tile. I think it's too big for this room. The area is too small. So when you look at it, there's only a few places in this room where we've actually managed to use the full size of the tile. So basically, this area to here, and then one tile there. So that's the only place where we get the full benefit of the full size tile. So we're very happy with the way it looks. But it did cost a lot more to do it like this, and it did take a lot longer, which is not what we wanted originally. So first of all, why did it take longer? Well, basically you got to cut the tiles. So if there's a smaller tile, it's easier to cut. But when you're maneuvering such a big tile to cut this sort of area, you can imagine it's a bit of a palaver. Most tile cutters are like 70 centimeters, 75 centimeters. So for the cuts that we had to do this way, we had to do these manually because the tile wouldn't physically fit in the cutter. So that made the process, like I said, take longer, more difficult to maneuver. So, you know, for example, this tile here, if we were starting off with a complete 120 tile just to get this bit out, it takes longer. And the second thing is, it's inevitable that tiles going to crack when you're handling them, when you're cutting them. Maybe the cut doesn't go to plan for whatever reason. But when you crack a big tile, you're losing a much bigger area. If the tile is only like a 60 by 60 tile, you crack it, okay, you've only lost this area. But if you crack a 120 tile, obviously that you lose everything. So we did a bit of chopping and changing. We managed to, you know, sort of recycle any tiles that we cracked. You know, cut off the segments, but basically we had to be very careful with it, and we also had a lot of you know, pieces to cut to fill in all the gaps here, basically just because they're hard to maneuver, and like I said, just because it's a big tile. So I think if we did a 60 by 60, the process of the whole tiling process would have been easier, and we wouldn't have had to do so much recycling, you know, cutting the same tile up so many times, which again increases the chances of some damage happening to the tile that makes it unusable. So smaller tiles. And the second one is the floor. It's a walk-in shower, and like I said, we've just got 3 big tiles here, and at the moment the original plan was to put a glass here, but I'm thinking maybe we won't do that because the curtain, to be fair, is doing an excellent job as it is. The one thing we've put is just a sealing strip along the floor just to control the water, and this is why step 2, put a bigger slope on the floor. The slope on the floor at the moment is exactly the same as it was. So as I said at the start of the video, we had a bath here and the shower was in the bath, so all the water was in there, and if we got any splashes outside, we had this drain here, and you know, that was it. There was never that much water outside. Obviously with a walk-in shower, all the water goes on the floor, and it's surprising how far that water wants to spread out. You'd think, you know, the drain is quite large. We were thinking that, you know, the water's just going to run into it, but it does actually want to spread out surprisingly a lot more than what we were expecting. We thought the glass was going to be doing that, going to sort out the dispersion, but this little channel, this little temporary thing that we've got here at the moment is doing the job. So maybe we'll do something like this, but a little bit more permanent. So really, this is the number 2. The slope on the tiles are really connected to number 1. We were a bit limited with what sort of slope we can put on these tiles because they're so big. If, for example, we had like 60 by 60 tiles here, maybe we could have a row of relatively flat ones here with a gentle slope, as it is at the moment. And then we could have put another row of tiles here, maybe with a more aggressive slope. I mean, nothing crazy, but you know, something like that up here, and that would have controlled the water completely. And then we could just do with a shower curtain, and we wouldn't have had to do anything with this side of it with regards to water management. So that is the second thing we would done: be more aggressive with the floor, with a slope in the floor to control the water more. Just to comment on this, we haven't put the original counter back in. We want to put something different, but can't find anything that we like at the moment. But we'll probably be something like 40 centimeters deep coming this far. That's the plan. But that's it. That's the video, guys. If you're thinking about doing a walk-in shower, if I was going to do it again, that's what I would do differently. Smaller tiles, more commensurate with the more in proportion with the size of the room. Fantastic. We really like the having the big tiles here, but just for the extra cost and the simplicity of having the smaller tiles, we'll definitely do probably a 60 by 60 if we were going to do it again. And like I said, just put a bigger slope on the floor here just to control the water more. So if you think about doing a walk-in bathroom, I mean, that's our experience. That's what we would do differently. Apart from that, super happy. I didn't want to put a glass here because I quite like, you know, having the complete room open. I think the curtain will do the job. Like I said, it's only a small room, but you know, if you want to make it look as big as possible. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Anyway, guys, as I said, that's the video. Smaller tiles and a bigger slope on the floor. Look after yourself. I'll see you again next time.